Hello. I thought I would make a sort of fun video for myself and talk about probably my top 10 gay movies. These are not lesbian, but gay male movies that I like. They're my favorites, and I've bought them. I'm a huge film fan. I love movies and talking about good movies like, you know, Hitchcock or Fassbinder or Haneke. I have my own directors I like. Usually The Stranger the better, but I watched one movie last night and I thought, well, why don't I just share my collection with everybody and just say, if you're looking for movies that I think are important or raise questions or have some film quality that is important in studying gay theory and queer theory and films and their place, I thought I'd talk about it. It's one of the things I do for work is sort of curate lists and purchase material that is relevant to scholarship. So my first one is Pink Narcissus. It's sort of, I call it an experimental film. Really, it's like a blue movie. There is some nudity in it, but it's the artist James Bidgood is the one who did all the work and filmed it, and he did it as anonymous. It's not on Blu-ray. It's only on DVD, and I think I got this on eBay. It's not. It's a pretty good quality, but it's not the best. But Bobby Kendall is the guy that's not his real name. That's the main guy. Made in 1971 at 65 minutes, and it's just this huge gay fantasia of luscious pictures and just really beautiful imagery that really, it's moving, yet it looks at hookup culture, it looks at narcissism, it looks at discovering your sexuality, and these themes, there's no dialogue, it's all music and just noise, which makes it, to me, experimental. It was restored at Rapture Digital Studios, and I think that they're the place that I got it from, but really there's no main studio that actually has this one, so this is and it just came with the disc, and it's actually burned. It's like the blue on the bottom. So the next movie, I'm a huge fan of Criterion films, and it's going to be Death in Venice. And I love Dirk Bogarde. He is such an amazing actor, gay actor, who is since deceased. And Luchino Visconti, is the director, gay director, who done a lot. He's known for his luscious Italian movies. So this one and the next one after this sort of deal with the topic of pedophilia in some way. So this one's 1971, 131 minutes. It's in color. It's in English, and this is it's basically this composer. He goes and he is stays at a hotel, but he sees this kid who's probably maybe 15 or 16, maybe 14, and he's just so beautiful. His name's Tadzio, and Tadzio, he just becomes he can't stop looking at him. He even tries to leave because he starts becoming so obsessed with him, but he doesn't. He just gets drawn back, and it's actually an interesting film if you watch it this year with the pandemic, and the pandemic that's going on in the movie, and how that plays, it also looks at sort of, it doesn't have overt gay themes in it. I mean, the main guy is married, but yet he's not lusting, he's sort of enamored by this youth, Tadzio. It is, it's pretty moving, especially the ending. You have the older man trying to look younger to appeal to Tadzio, and it just, well, it's sort of a tragedy, but it's really a lovely film. It's done very well. I really love this. Another movie that you can't get it anymore. It's out of print. Even the book is out of print. I read the book after I saw this. It's called For a Lost Soldier. The DVD goes for quite a bit of money now. I wish it would come out on Blu-ray. It is controversial because there's a scene, well, the two characters, let's see, I forget their characters' names, but you have a Canadian soldier who sort of takes this kid under his wing who's fascinated by him being in the military, and they form a relationship. It is sexual, and so you have this like 10, 12-year-old boy and this like soldier in his 20s. For me, it reminds me of when you're younger and you have these crushes on older men, and you know, they're fantasies. But this fantasy is no longer a fantasy, and it's really bittersweet. It's really sad, but the book is a little more violent. Like, there's a scene that's not in the movie, and that's in the book, where the main character bites the little boy's shoulder and draws blood because he wants to like consume him. He's just so cute and beautiful, and just really he's obsessed with him. And the little kid is really, he does a really good part as an actor, but so does the Canadian guy. There's not too much nudity in the movie, just a little bit, but I mean, because you got an underage kid, but the story of him, his budding sexuality, and then the soldier who is almost like a bull in a china shop sort of character. This one's 82 minutes. It's hard to find. The book the book is out of print. I downloaded a PDF on some website, and the book is really good. I like the book. Book was written by, it's actually semi-autobiographical, and it's sort of framed. It's a movie within sort of a story. Rudy von Danzig is the guy. He did the cinematography. No, he did not do that. He's a what do you call a dance instructor, and it's based on, he's the one who wrote the novel. So this came out in 2002, but unfortunately it's out of print. This movie is still not on Blu-ray, and I don't know why. The Crying Game, and Neil Jordan. I really like Neil Jordan movies. I think they're really done well. This deals with cross-dresser, transgender, and sort of a straight guy going over and sort of feeling sorry about a guy that died, and kind of, you know, going and picking out this dead guy's life. I love this movie. I just think it's filmed well. It's great. It has Stephen Ray in it, who's great. Miranda Richardson, she's okay. Forrest Whitaker. Jay Davidson is the main character. And the whole thing about this movie was the shocking thing where it was shown in most theaters, and you see full frontal male nudity. You see her sort of unrobe, and you see Stephen Ray's character vomit after he thought he was with a woman, and she thought that he knew it was a woman, but so you deal with that. This came out in 1992. It is 112 minutes, and you can still get it, I believe, on DVD. It also deals with the IRA, the Irish Republican Army. This movie just came out, I think this year. I watched it last night. God's Own Country. It's pretty good. It's sort of it deals with xenophobia a bit. It deals with being in the closet, rural life. It's English. Takes place in England, and it has enough nudity. It's pretty provocative. But this came out, I believe, this year on Blu-ray, and it is 2018. I just thought the two characters were done. They were really good. I mean, they don't seem like, they're not the typical gay men. You know, he's sort of secretive as far as hooking up with guys, he's really sure of himself, and then they sort of fall in love. Which reminds me kind of Weekend, which is a Criterion movie that came out, gay movie, and that deals with hookup culture as well. But this one does. There's like 2 hookups in this one besides the initial one, with other guys. But I really liked it. It has a good ending. I like it. This one's sort of an older one. It's a Merchant Ivory film, and Merchant Ivory films are like lovely, and some people can't stomach them. But this was when Hugh Grant was like amazingly attractive, and Rupert Graves, again, very attractive. James Wilby, who sort of wasn't as popular as Hugh Grant was, or Rupert Graves. So this is the 30th anniversary 4K restoration of Maurice by Cohen Film Collection. Cohen does really good films. Kino Lorber, Cohen, Arrow, Criterion. This is like the 4 they do really good jobs for producing stuff. So this is Maurice, or Morris. It looks like Maurice, but it's pronounced Morris. And it's about the gay males and sort of the social status in England, and how it's just difficult. You have someone who is, basically lower class and upper class. It's based on the Ian Forster novel. Let's see. Morris Hall and Clive Durham find themselves falling in love at Cambridge, at a time when homosexuality is punishable by imprisonment. They must keep their feelings from one another a complete secret. After a friend arrested and disgraced for the unspeakable vice of the Greeks, Clive abandons his forbidden love and marries a young woman. Morris, however, struggles with his identity and self-confidence, seeking the help of a hypnotist to rid himself of his undeniable urges, but while staying... I don't want to spoil it. Came out in 1987. It's 140 minutes. And this is the 2 discs. Both Blu-rays, bonus features, and you get a sort of a card, and you get the booklet. They do a really good job with putting out movies. It's a really sweet movie, and the ending, you don't know where it's going, so it's just really good. I haven't read the book, though. This movie, some people, I really like it. I read the book before the movie came out. I saw the movie, and I haven't read the second book called Find Me. I fell in love with this movie. Yeah, it deals with underage. I mean, the kid's like 17 in the 20s. You have 2 beautiful actors who are just, it's just amazing. It's hard to describe it. And the scene that always makes me cry, is when Oliver has left, and the father is talking to him, and the father says about, he says something like, you've left, before you know it, you're old and ugly, nobody loves you, nobody wants you, you're not attractive, so, and you had a very special friendship, which is alluding to the fact that the father may be bisexual. I got this as soon as it came out. It's just, especially when Oliver is alone, Elio is alone when Oliver leaves him, and he has his mother come pick him up. That's just, oof, it's just rough. Or at the end, it's just so much. Really interesting thing, when you watch the movie, look for flies, and the image of fruit and flies. As the relationship ripens, you see more flies. What happens to ripe fruit? It starts to rot. You see even more flies. So you'll see the flies throughout, and that is intentional, and I thought that was really amazing. Guadagnino, the director, Suspiria remake, he did a really good job with that. And I love Suspiria, the original one. That's one of my favorite movies. I know some people just think that, oh, it's whatever, but I love it. Tom at the Farm, one of my favorite directors, Xavier Dolan. He stars in it, and it's the adaptation of a film that a play that I read. It's a very short play, and it deals with someone's died. You're the boyfriend that was hidden away. You come to see the family. The family doesn't think that you're gay, or thinks that the son was gay, and you meet the brother. And the brother, who's played by Pierre-Yves Cardinal. There's the brother there and there. Stockholm Syndrome. Good grief. It's a psychological fuck up of a movie. And yeah, it's good though. It's very good. Compared to the play, it's pretty much spot on. They did a really good job. And I just think that this is just welcome to the farm. It's this little thing, and I like these. The insert, it's reversible. One's in French, one's in English. It is in it's a Canadian French movie. It's good. If you haven't seen this and you like psychological suspense, which the next one is very Hitchcockian. This one I wouldn't say so much, but yeah, it's good. And I hate his hair in this. He's such an attractive guy, but he has this shitty blonde hair throughout the movie, and it looks like he never washes it. But he's a very good director. The next one is French. It is from France. Stranger by the Lake. Very Hitchcockian. It has some pretty explicit scenes in it. I mean, you see ejaculation. You see, it takes place on a nudist beach. That's basically the main backdrop. And these people that meet each other on the beach. It's like a hookup spot. But there's a killer. So it's 100 minutes. And it's by Strand Releasing. And you see the main guy. His name is Pierre Deladonchamp. He is really good, and it is sort of a sexy thriller. It's just a really good movie. I mean, yeah, it came out in 2014, which I didn't say when this one was. 2013. So they're about the same, but this, yeah, this movie's pretty good. I just, yeah, it's like, whoa. And it's very realistic. I mean, there's in the ending, it's a typical European ending where it's one where you're meant to discuss it, go home and like talk about like, oh my god, what do you think happened? Because it kind of leaves you hanging. And then this is a classic. It's a fast binder. It's I think it was his last movie. It has Brad Davis, who was a bisexual. He died of HIV, of AIDS. This has Jean Moreau in it, the actress. And it is a classic in queer cinema. It came out in, I believe, 82. Yeah, came out in 82. And it's basically a sailor, a gay sailor who is on shore leave, and well, he's not overtly gay. Jean Genet, the author, the playwright, it's based on his book Querelle de Brest. It's good. It has some highly sexual scenes, but it's not like overly explicit. It's very stylized. It's very artsy. You see like columns in the shape of phalluses. You see, I mean, there's love. There's rape. There's a few things, and it's very slow. There's like a dialogue that is rambling on, but it's a good movie. It's done well. But it is artsy. I will warn you, it is artsy. Of all the films, this one and Pink Narcissus are fairly artsy, which means it could be hard to follow. Let's see. Maurice, God's Country, Crying Over. I didn't open For a Lost Soldier. Very plain disc. And it's not blue. A lot of times when you see blue discs, they're manufactured on demand, and they're very easy to scratch. There's the Criterion Death in Venice. It's very plain. I like the books with the staples. And those are my top 10, well, top 10 movies so far. They're always changing, but these are the ones that sort of I always go back to. They just kind of keep reappearing. My friend Joker, yeah, he helped me with this. He's one of the characters from Puppet Master series, the horror series. And he has his head spins around. You can actually make his head kind of do different stuff, like it does in the movie, but it doesn't really line up that well. And the evil face is probably the best one. That's when you know he's gonna like come after you and kill you or something. Anyway, I thought that would be kind of fun for me to go over those movies, something different. It's something I like. I like gay cinema, and these are just my top ones. So, thanks for watching.